Our first guests tonight are the talented and award-winning actors who also star as the Pearson Big Three in the hit series This Is Us. The sixth and final season premieres Tuesday, January 4th, right here on NBC. Please welcome back to the show Sterling K. Brown, Justin Hartley, and Chrissy Metz, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, I want to start by saying Happy New Year to all three of you. I mean, I think a lot of us had maybe grander plans for New Year's this year before things maybe turned a little south in regards to COVID. But what did you guys manage to do? Chrissy, I know you do end up doing the Rose Parade?
I did. I hosted with Mario Lopez, and I had to be up at 2 a.m., y'all. So I went to bed at 7 p.m. I was like, I don't even know which way is up. But yeah, it was a great time. Wild, but great.
Why do you have to wake up at 2 a.m. for a parade?
Well, it starts super early, right? There are people, I'm not kidding, camped out in air mattresses, y'all. They were sleeping on the road on air mattresses. But hair and makeup, women take a little long, yeah.
All right,
right.
well, I worth every second, I'm sure. And guys, as much as I want you here in person, I'm happy that we're taking the safer path forward because you're Precious Cargo right now. You're filming the last season of a beloved show. And I have to ask this question. Did the three of you have any sense when you filmed the pilot that this would be the hit that it has turned out to be?
No, I don't. I think, I'll speak for myself, but I think everybody would agree. I don't think you can anticipate something like this. I knew that, and I've said before, I knew that, when I read the script, when I read the pilot, I knew that it was great. And then when we shot it, it felt wonderful. And then I saw it, and it was the best thing I'd ever seen. But that doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to captivate an audience, So, and by the way, this thing, it became a smash hit, ratings wise and things like that. But the way that it impacts people in their everyday life is just something I think beyond anything anyone could have possibly imagined.
Yeah, I mean, I read it right after I finished with my Jacksonville condom. I didn't know that was the name for it, but then now that I know. So I finished with that and I read it and I was like, this is really good. It was awesome. I was doing OJ at the time. I read it. This is the best network television pilot I've ever read. I looked at Paulson. I said, I think I know what I want my next job to be. She's like, go get that. And it happened. It worked out in such a beautiful way. We all met each other. I remember the first table read. And I was sitting at the table and I was like, I think we got something. I remember seeing Chrissy, Justin, Mandy, Milo, like everybody, and I was like, "This feels right." And the world said, "We're here with you."
Yeah. How soon into the first season did you start hearing from friends and family about how much the show was resonating with them?
No, just out of the gate, really. I mean, first and second episode, people were like, "What is this?"
People are like, "Can I borrow money?" Things like that. That's when you know that you're on a successful show.
Yeah, that's a good sign. When people start asking for money, you're like, I think we got something here.
I had a cousin text me after episode 4, which I think is the pool, first episode with the kids at the pool. And she said, Sterling, she goes, I know you had a really good show with this last thing, but this show right now is like church and therapy and entertaining and healing, like all in one. And she said, I think I see myself in your sister, in your brother, in you. Like it was when she hit me with this, and it was like a 4-minute message that I knew it was touching people in a way that we hoped that it would.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you've come to terms with the fact that it's ending?
No.
Yeah.
No.
But we're all a little different. We're all a little different. I always say, I'm trying to, and how I kind of wrap my brain around it and prepare myself for it is just to remind myself of the privilege of having something come into your life that you will miss beyond belief. A lot of people don't get that, and we're all very lucky.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is my first job, like my first real job. And I'm like, wait, this is great.
They're not all like this, Chrissy.
They're not all like this. So what the hell am I going to do now?
Yeah, it was an endless tour of guest spots for your boy before not too long ago. I think that I'm happy to be going out in a time where people will still be missing us, rather than like, oh, is that crap still on the air? Like, I think that's the thing that I feel good about. I will miss it. I will miss the people. I will miss the story. But on a bigger level, all good things must come to an end. And I feel like it's still a good thing. And that makes me happy.
Yes.
Now, of course, your goodbye will happen, a few months before we see the final episode. Do you have a sense? Who do you think amongst the three of you will cry the hardest when you film your last scene together? Sterling, it looks like you're pointing at me.
I know.
It's you, Sam. It's you.
I'm pointing at that. I think Chrissy Metz, like everybody always acts like it'll be me. And maybe there's debate to be had because my sister and I both have loose ducts.
We do.
But I is probably going to be my sister. That's what I would say.
I mean, here's the thing. My emotions are always right here. They're ready. They're ready.
Yeah.
That's good. You're a great actor. It might actually be you, Seth, because a lot of people may not remember. Well, maybe they do.
Yeah.
It's the big four right here.
Yeah.
All
That's
four
right.
of us are This Is Us cast members.
Season 1 right there.
Season 1.
Sweet
I
Myers,
had a cameo season 1, and I think it speaks to the fact that no one knew how big a hit the show was going to be, because if they had known, you would have gotten a far bigger star. You couldn't even get the 11:30 NBC host.
Dude, you were perfect. Look, all of the work that you've been doing at Impression Camp is really paying off.
I'm so
I
impressed.
just wish we could have
Thank
used
you.
it before.
I
yeah.
will say, that's, again, that's like 5 years ago now that I did that cameo in that show, and it's led to no other work.
I think you're doing all right.
That's true. I'm very busy, Chrissy. I have so much more to ask you guys. We'll be right back with more from Sterling K. Brown, Justin Hartley, and Chrissy Metz.